congrats to the channel for another new speed build. So today's speed build is for, yes guys, my brand new save file that I am working on to completely redo all the townies and renovate the different houses or just completely change them depending on how I feel. And yeah, this is the first one. We're starting off in Willow Creek. It is the first neighborhood that we got in The Sims 4, and so I felt it was appropriate to start here. So this is the Holmes residence. So who are the Holmes, you ask? Well, if you haven't watched my Create a Sim video for this adorable little elderly couple, then I highly suggest you do so that you can get their background and their story. And I will put a link to that video down in the comments below, or I guess in the summary, whatever you want to call it, details. There we go. And so, yeah, so I took this house that is over here in one of the base areas of the game, and I decided to just change it up a little bit, change the color and change the way that the stairs are and the railings because I wanted them to have kind of just, your typical classic neighborhood home. It's not necessarily country or, and like colonial or anything like that. Like it's just kind of in and of itself its own individual entity. And so here we go with, you can see down there at the bottom, we've got Vernon and Eileen Holmes. So if you want to just get a quick few little details, I'm not going to tell you their whole story right now because you can easily go watch my Create a Sim video to find out that information. But I will just tell you briefly that they are an adorable couple and they have been married for 49 years and they're going to be celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary soon. So they're both pretty excited about it. So Eileen has spent her life owning her own store with designing clothes and just anything that she can really design, honestly. She does a little bit of painting, which is why she has an art easel that I will add later to her front porch. Then we have Vernon, and he has been a school teacher. And so they've been pretty humble most of their life. They haven't been overly wealthy or having too much. And, that's the way that they like it. They don't like having things be, overly expensive or just obnoxious in their opinion. They like things simple. And the two of them, during their life together, they have had two children of their own. It was a boy and a girl. And of course, they are elderly and their children have grown and flown the coop and they are out doing their own things, having their own families. And so they do miss them, but they want to live here in the community that they have known for their whole lives, which is Willow Creek. So Willow Creek has obviously come a long way. This couple's been here so long that they've seen a lot of changes, and those changes will be reflected in some of the other renovations that I am going to do. Also, guys, right here in the kitchen, that cabinet, I know, it's not up all the way, and I do fix that. So don't worry, it is corrected. But anyways, this house is just really simple. I wanted to keep it small. It's just two people, so it didn't need to be anything extravagant. They only wanted one bedroom, maybe have a few extra seats at the table, just for when their children come to visit or if they have a guest, and then just a living room. They don't have a TV because neither one of them really likes to watch TV much, or they don't really like video games, things like that. They just enjoy the beautiful peace and quiet. And so usually you can find Eileen, now that both of them are retired, spending her days out on her front porch, painting or knitting in the living room, while her husband enjoys his time reading through some books because he is more of an intellect or a scholar of a sense. And he still volunteers at the local nursing homes and does small little classes and teaches some of his fellow senior citizens how to do things. And Eileen also does the same thing. She loves bingo night. Bingo night is like her thing, and she goes to help set it up, and then she plays, and she goes and just visits and talks and tells stories with some of the other senior citizens. And, she's very lucky that both her and her husband are in such good health and that they're able to really live alone. They know that it might end up being where they might need to move into a home if, something happens. But as of right now, they're both in really great health. They're doing well. They both have their minds, and so things are just going awesome. And they also have a little dog named Jojo, and he is super adorable. And so he's a little elderly dog. So, he's not super young and jumpy and everything like that. And I didn't want to give them a puppy or just a younger dog for that reason. And because, they can't really do as much as they used to, but she does find herself outside, gardening as well and, trying to take up that hobby. Anything that involves creation, she enjoys. So creating, life with plants and creating masterpieces and paintings, knitting clothes for her children and hopefully grandchildren. She would love to be a grandmother. And yeah, she just is trying to do all that she can. So, anyways, that's kind of some, story and about who they are, what kinds of things that they enjoy currently while they're in this neighborhood and in their new home. And so I wanted to make their bedroom cozy, kind of like a study, so where that way they've got their two recliners. So if her husband feels like reading in here in his comfortable chair and looking out the big window, that they can do that. And she can also sit in a chair in there and do her knitting. And that way they can always choose to be together, or they could be in separate rooms if they so choose. And I added a little bit of more antique looking furniture that I felt suited them because that is just their style. They don't want anything big, modern, and new. They just, like I said earlier, they want simple. Simpler the better for these two. And I have really had a lot of fun with making this house. It was just a fun renovation. I've never really honestly tried to renovate any of the houses in the Sims games. Usually I just like totally demolish the house and the plot of land and I just start going. But you know, this kind of gave me a blueprint and I wanted to just take my hand at it because it wasn't a horrible design for a house, but I wanted to definitely give her a bigger front porch because if it's anything or if she is anything like my grandmother, she loved to sit on her front porch and just watch the birds and read books out there and that was just her thing. And the older I get, I totally understand and get that because I find myself now also enjoying that. Also, I'm actually really happy with how this bathroom turned out, and I liked the red towels because I wanted to add that vintage color. Because you guys know, like back in like the 60s and the 70s, like they were having like crazy colors in their bathrooms and like carpet in the bathroom. I didn't do carpet in the bathroom because it's still a little bit more modern house, but they like that red color, and so I wanted to definitely keep that little touch, adding just a few things here and there to make it stay more vintage. So I did correct my wraparound porch here. I had to add some additional columns and I did want to add some trees just to add a little bit more life. It looked so empty and bland because there's no trees on the lot next to it. And once again, I wish I could just naturally in the game without having to use cheats, just add trees where I want, but it is what it is. And the roof was a little bit tricky. I hate roofs. Like roofing is like the worst thing to me ever in the Sims game. But I managed and I kind of made it look decent, I think. I think guys might think otherwise and tell me that it sucks, but if it does, it does. I just tried. I tried. But anyways, guys, so this house, which is named the Holmes Residence, will be on my gallery if you are interested in downloading it. And also the Holmes family will also be up on the gallery. For some reason, it is saying that my Holmes family has custom content in it, and I have looked again and again in casts trying to find this custom content that is on it, and I just think it's a glitch. I don't know what it is that's custom content on there, but as far as I know, guys, there is no custom content on there, so please don't hesitate to download them. You'll just have to check to look for one of my downloads with custom content. Hopefully I can get it corrected in the future, but as of right now, that is just what it is. My game has been glitching a lot lately. But anyways, guys, so I hope that you enjoy this. This is the first one for this new save file. I'm excited for the future and adding more families, new fresh townies and faces, and I hope you guys are looking forward to it too. So enjoy the pictures after this video, and I will see you guys next time.
I had been a wallflower for so long, standing on the sidelines, watching life go by. But now I hear something that sounds like a love song from the birds in the sky seems unfolding.